Leroy, we got a special guest in the building. Blue just tapped in with us, man.
Okay, I'm gonna get back to Corday. Hold
We're gonna
on.
get back. We'll get back to that. Let's get back to what's up, Blue. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. We
Yeah,
can hear you, man. We can hear you, man. What's good? What's good? What's good?
Just chilling, man. Good to be here, man. How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. We doing
right,
good,
man.
man. We doing our thing, man. We blessed.
I hear
Yes,
that.
sir.
Come on.
Blue, man. Pleasure for you to be here. We're on a new system right now. I can hear you, but I don't see you. But I
Oh,
but
okay,
I
let
hear
me
you.
see.
I got you. I'll put you on the screen, so we good.
Yeah. This but
But go ahead, Leroy.
fire.
But ask your questions, brother. Ask your questions to Blue. We got them on.
No doubt. No doubt. So yeah, first let me just say thank you for being here, brother. You know, I gotta call you
Oh
Professor
man.
Blue. You know what I mean?
Very nice. Yeah, yeah. Shout
Yeah,
out to Pendulum Inc.
yeah. That's why I gotta call you Professor. I got the hat on. That's why I gotta call you Professor. But you have been working this year, my
Oh
guy.
yeah. Oh yeah. This is the year, man. Come on, we cooking up.
You have been working, and I gotta applaud that. You know,
Thank
so how is it? You got the new album, Love the Ominous World. I think we
you. Yes,
need some
sir.
love now. You
Say it
know,
again.
you got the new album, Love the Ominous World.
Yes.
I think we need some love right now. As you may have heard before you got on, we be talking politics too. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Very nice, man. That's what's up. What was y'all chopping it up about?
Well, I mean, well, I'm gonna jump around questions here, right? And you've always had an optimistic sound and approach to your music. It's what I really appreciate about your music, my guy. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man, yeah, that's man, that's my main message right there, man. As you can see in the new title, Love the Ominous World.
Yeah.
Also the title Below the Heavens, the subtitle Below the Heavens in Hell Happy with Your New Imaginary Friends, Blue and Exile. That's
Yes.
also promoting optimism as well, you know what I mean? Staying optimistic in the face of, and I had an EP with my man Fate called Open Your Optics to Optimism. You know what I mean?
That's
So
right.
I stay on that. I stay preaching that message, man.
Yeah, no, and that's appreciated. And I appreciate you letting them know that the title to Below the Heavens was actually a longer title. You know that you know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
more.
yeah. A
Yeah,
lot of
you
my
know.
releases have like a longer title. I just, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, keep it short for the, publications and everything, make it easier on everybody.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna get into the album real quick, but just real quick, how has it been being back on the road with Exile and just being back out there performing your music? Like, cause I know you've been touring. How's that been, my guy?
Oh man, it's a blessing to be back on the road, man. You know what I mean? We haven't been on the East Coast since the pandemic. So getting out there to Chicago, Minneapolis, New York, you know what I mean, Baltimore, that shit was dope, man. Jersey, you know what I mean? Yeah, it
Yeah,
was out there, man.
yeah,
I
that's
love
dope. I said that's dope. And you know, I'm familiar with you. A lot of you know, you're the era I came up in the blog era a little bit before that. I was real familiar with your music. I have some homies. One a co-host of the show is not so familiar. He's not here tonight, but I just want to
Okay.
give people. Yeah, I want to give people some background because I'm familiar, but some people may not be. Now, the
Uh,
classic album you came in with, Below the Heavens, that's a classic. That's not
boom.
even debatable. Okay.
That's what I like to hear, man.
That's 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 not even debatable. But you
Man,
got
I love
Give Me My Flowers Where I Can Smell Them. You got A Long Red Hot Summer. You got Miles. Miles, I think, is also a classic body of work. You know what I mean?
thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Other projects as well. Good to Be Home, Color Blue. These are some of my favorite things. But this year alone, you started out with an album called Out the Blue. Then you came with Royal Blue. Then you hooked up with Evidence and came with Los Angeles. Now you got the new album with Exile. So
Yes.
you are on a tear right now, right? You know what I mean? And I
Oh
know,
man,
yeah. Like
we just
what
getting
insight?
started, man.
Yeah. Oh, so that's where I'm gonna go. Just real briefly, because I know others have asked you about this question, but just for the people, like, what is fueling this fire that got you working how you're working?
Oh
Mhm.
man, to be honest, man, I just have my son, man. My son is 2 now. You know what I mean? I've done probably 10
Yeah.
albums since he was born. You know what I mean? Just having him motivated me so much to just get it up and get it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, that's beautiful, man. And you know, something like that, that's gonna really, you know, fuel you to make some beautiful stuff, man. You know what I mean?
I
Just can't
appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. We in here cooking, man. I'm hella motivated. You know what I'm saying?
no doubt, no doubt. And one thing I, you know, I've always appreciated about you also is like a versatility in sound. Like and like because you've worked with Exile, Knots, Madlib, Oh No, Flying Lotus, Alchemist. Like what inspired that, or how did you develop such a versatility in your sound and approach? You know?
I've always wanted all my releases to be different from the previous release. I don't, I never wanted to release the same album twice. You know what I mean? Always
Yeah,
try to keep it different. You know,
No
no
and
doubt.
doubt.
I
No,
think that's what brought out the diversity in my catalog. It's just me trying to change it up every time. You know what I mean? And not come with the same formula. You know what I mean for another album. You know.
No doubt. Let me ask you something real quick, Blue. As you was
Yep.
coming up in the game, as an MC and also as a producer, how when you were as a let's start with producer. So it's a twofold question. As a producer, who are some of the producers that inspired you, inspired your sound as you was
Oh
trying to
man.
cultivate it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Exile a grip. You know, Exile reminded me of my favorite producers, which were like Dilla, High Tech, Pete Rock, and Premier. You know what I mean? And Exile had that sound. He also had different styles, but he had the cuts with the raw chops, the raw sample chops. You know what I mean? He'll chop down a sample to where you can't recognize it like Premier. You know what I'm saying? And he had the Brazilian chops like Pete Rock, Dilla, you know what I mean? He had the yeah, he man, Exile just had it and he taught me how to use the MP, you know.
No doubt.
fire.
No doubt. No
So
doubt. And
those, you know, I would throw Just Blaze up there too. Just Blaze was hella influential too on me, you know what I mean? As far as producers, you know. Now I'm into more the old heads. I'm listening to more Dre, more Prince Paul, more DJ Pooh, you know what I mean? Like
No
no
more
doubt.
OGs, you know, Egyptian Lover and shit like that.
no doubt, no doubt. Now you being from the West Coast, you've seen it evolve over time. You know what I'm saying? The East Coast had it on lock for a little bit, then the South. What kind of what kind of wave have you seen? Roz Cos being from the West Coast, and you had Snoopy, you had Dre. How did you fall into that mode of like seeing how the West Coast evolved over time from a lyrical perspective? And do you think that the
uh
West Coast get its due that from a lyrical perspective that the North does, or the East Coast or the South?
Man, I think it's just about opening your eyes, man, and seeing it for what it is. We feel like we do got some of the best lyricism, you know what I'm saying, and always have, you know. So it's like to leave us out, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's like
right,
it's
right,
like,
right.
Right.
oh, we've been here bust, you know, giving it our, you know what I'm saying? And but you know, there's highlights, you know what I'm saying, where, you know what I'm saying, the West Coast is like more prominent, you know what I mean? I'm feeling that resurgence now, you know what I mean? We had a crazy year. Vince Staples, Schoolboy Q, you know what I mean? Kendrick blowing it up, you know what I'm saying? It got crazy,
Right.
man.
No,
No doubt.
I've seen that as well. You know, and that's why I'm asking you specifically about your sound, because I feel that kind of like the West Coast. I'm from the West Coast. I'm from the Bay Area. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I feel like even here we can kind of get boxed into a sound. If you're from LA, they could kind of try to box you into a sound. So I've been telling people like, no, there is a huge range and a diverse, you know, sound bed here that covers a
Yeah.
lot of different bases. So it's like I want people to get into your music not only because it's super dope, but just because musically you cover a range of sound that has been here in California, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's been here, man. Yeah, I'm definitely a reflection of what I listen to. You know what I mean? What I'm inspired by. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I'm just reflecting. You know what I mean? What I was the music that I was given. You know what I'm saying? The music that I gravitate to the most. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that I want to ask. I got one. I'm gonna ask you about your album, but I got one personal question for me about music because, like, I've had people in my family that were jazz heads, right? I'm a hip
Yeah,
hop head, not so much a jazz head, but I want to get into it because I've always had people around me that were kind of like jazz heads, and I
yeah,
gotta know like where do I start at? Like where if I want to get into that. Like because that sound is also part like on an album like Miles. That's part of it. You know what I mean? But Miles Davis, so
yes,
a
sir.
person like me, a
If you
person
want,
like me
you're
that
saying you're
yeah,
saying where do you start if you want to get into jazz?
exactly. Yep.
All right. I'm gonna put it like this, man. It took me 10 years to crack jazz to really know what I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I told this to the homie the other day. He was like, "Yo, man, I still don't understand jazz." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Yo, man, it took me studying like all the other musics around me, comparing it, shit like that, to really like know what jazz is." You know what I mean? And now,
Right.
man, that's my favorite genre. I listen to jazz so much. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Yeah, I want
Yeah,
I
but
want to
I would
go there,
say, I
man.
would say, I would say off top, man, Miles Davis, bro.
Fire.
No doubt. Let me get to the super chat real quick.
Miles
People
Davis will lead you to everybody. Yep.
people
No
tapping in
doubt.
real quick. People tapping in because we got Blue on. My man, Mad Max, friend of the show, says, what do you say? He says, tell Blue I said said his album of the year along with Glow album and his Mars remix is classic. Best new school lyricist since the blog era. No doubt, Mad Max.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
word, word. Come on, man. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. That's
No,
mad love right there.
no doubt,
For
no
sure.
doubt, no doubt. And then my man Free says, what do you say? I got our favorite color and give me my flowers on vinyl. Below the Heavens was big for
Mhm.
me. Tell him thanks. Soul Amazing 5 and Jesus Take Fire 2. No doubt, no
Oh,
doubt.
word up, word
Now,
up. Fire, fire
yeah,
picks right.
the Soul Amazings is dope. That's the featured mixtapes, right?
Yo, man, I got 500 features documented through those mixtapes, man. That's
Literally, I know.
500 blue features right there. You know what I mean?
Killing it. He mentioned the Mars remix too. What do he know about the Mars remix, bro? He's a
Bars,
young guy.
Soul Amazing 1 through 13. Check those out, y'all.
Crazy. I mean, you've had an incredible one run just album wise. You've released so many projects. We trying to keep up with what you're doing, Blue. But
Man, I
before
just
you,
released my 20th album, man. Love the Ominous Word, my 20th album.
hip hop got to thank you, man. Not just the pod space, but hip
Oh,
hop got to thank you, now for real, man. Because
I thank
it's
everybody listening, man, because if they
yeah,
wasn't listening, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even
no
be
doubt.
here, man. You know what I mean?
We
No doubt,
appreciate it. We
no doubt.
want to hear you keep
I got a
going.
question before you cook up, Leo. I got a question for Blue. Now you've been touring for a while. Being from the West Coast, what's one of your favorite cities to perform in, where the vibe is, the people respond to
Um,
you, the vibe is right. You just enjoy performing in that city.
New York. Always love rocking New York. You know what I mean? New York, London, Chicago, Japan. You know what I mean? My
No
my
doubt.
favorite show was my show in South Africa. You know what I mean? I went out there in 2011 and it was like 1,000 Africans reciting all my songs. I just was
We was
blown away, bro. You know what I
We was
mean?
just talking about we was just talking about Africa. We was just talking about that. And I really gotta implore people to listen to not just your Africa project with Knots,
Oh
but
yeah, come on.
on Miles. You made a song. It's classic to me. It's called The
Yeah.
Roots of Blue,
Boom
right?
boom. Oh yeah. Good looks. Good
Roots of
looks.
Blue. It had the Sonics, which was incredible. The video wasn't incredible. But the reason why I'm asking this question is because we were talking about this before you got here. And you got
Yeah.
somebody like Trick Daddy, but not just Trick Daddy, you have others that are kind of, for lack of a better word, denouncing being called African American rather than just being called American. So
Uh-huh.
it's very important to me that we maintain our connection with our legacy and roots there in Africa. So for what is the inspiration behind a song like Blue? You know what I mean? I'm like Roots of Blue.
Roots of Blue, man. It came from me trying to go as deep as I can. You know what I mean? Miles deep, I would say, into my soul. You know what I mean, and pull something out. And I pulled out the history of man as I was told it. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I just started from the beginning. You know what I mean? And just to show my roots. You know what I mean? Everybody who inspired my journey. You know what I mean? In
Right.
chronological order, pretty much. You know what I mean?
I caught that. And that's why it was brilliant to me because there is a chronological kind of order to the historicity of us as a people, not just and us as man, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The second verse is the whole Bible,
I caught that. I caught
from
that.
Adam to Paul, Paul and John to Adam to
Yep.
John. You know what I mean?
I caught that. And that's why on another angle, slightly the same, I think, now we have the good kid in the mad city. I think you was already that. You was already that into where yeah,
Come on,
you see where I'm
come
going. See
on.
where you was already that because there is you're from a real place. You know what I mean? Los Angeles. We know what's up with Los Angeles, but you've always had a balance in your music that
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
a lot of people coming from LA, and it's no diss to where they're from because it's real, but they'll lean on a certain like a gang, they'll lean on that aesthetic musically. You have
yeah. Right,
always
right.
yeah, you've always kind of had like a balance. How important is it to for the listeners not just to look at LA for the gangster aesthetic, but also realize the other side of that because LA is a vast place of different lifestyle. You know,
Most definitely, man. Honestly, bro, I'll listen to a lot of East Coast shit coming up. You know what I mean? I was into like lyricism. You know what I mean?
no doubt.
So I was listening to a lot of East Coast shit. My first two tapes was LL Bad and Kumo D, How You Like Me Now. Even though my favorite song was Wild Wild West on the tape. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah, at the time coming up, what made me like different from everybody like that I came up around was me listening to East Coast shit, man. Really, you know what I mean? Being very inspired by the East, and I think that's what made me lean on lyricism so much. You know what I mean?
no doubt, no doubt. You like a Ice Cube, like an Ice Cube going with the Bomb Squad. It's West Coast,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
has an
Come
attention
on.
to the lyricism.
Definitely, definitely. Now all I listen to is early '90s West Coast. You know what I mean? '80s, early '80s through night to '95. You know what I mean? West Coast, crazy.
No doubt. Yeah, on this latest album, you're barring up with Crooked Eye or Professor Crooked Eye. You're barring up with Crooked Eye and Corrupt on
Oh
Chucks.
man, come on, man. The Kings,
What?
man. The Kingpin and the King Crooked, man.
That was crazy.
You know what I
That
mean?
was
Top five lyricists on the West Coast. Right there, two of them. You know what I mean?
out.
No doubt, no
No,
doubt. Let me ask you this: if you got three albums that you can only have, you gonna go to like Mars or something, right? You got three
Oh.
albums to take with you, man. What you taking with you, bro? You know what I'm saying? I know you
Oh
like East
man.
Coast, West Coast. I know you got a lot of influences, but what you gonna take? You can include some of yours as well. What three albums you taking with you?
I'm taking Illmatic, I'm taking the Chronic, and I'm taking the girl from
fire.
Ipanema. You know what I mean? That Stan Getz and Zhao Gilberto. You know what I mean?
N- n-
Fire.
No doubt, no
Oh,
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Last question I got for you. I know I'm gonna give it back to Leroy. Um, let me think about it. Now, you work with several people. You work with Crooked Eye. You know, your working relationship with Exile, Corrupt. You work with a slew of people. Who haven't you worked with that you would love to work with, either dead or alive, that you would make you had an idea for a song that you think would be dope if you could just make, one record, you know what I'm saying? Who would you like to work with? You know, it could be somebody dead or
my
alive.
my dream list. Oh, dead or alive. Wow.
All right.
We'll start with alive. Let's start with live because that could happen, but then we could go back and talk about
Right.
who could have
Right.
been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, alive. I would say DJ Premier. You know what I mean? I gotta get a DJ Premier joint. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Insanity. Amen.
No,
Wow. I would probably, man, just right now, I would go with ODB, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, right.
Like
Osiris.
Big L, Big L or ODB, bro.
no doubt, no doubt. You like
Right.
out of all the Woo, ODB was your favorite out the Woo?
Actually, yeah, man. You know, it's funny you say that. I was saying with the dead or alive, you know, I mean, I would go with Big L or ODB as far as who's transitioned,
Right,
and
right.
as far as who's alive, I would say DJ Premier. You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt, no
That
doubt. That's
DJ
a good.
Premier, Dr. Dre, and Dr. Dre. You know what I mean?
that would be crazy. Premiere and Blue, that would be crazy. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah!
Yeah. Or
Come
Dre,
on,
like
Prince.
Dre need to get with you, man, because again, like not only do you have the just being dope, but the experience of you being around rapping, creating these projects for 20 years, you already come in the door with a certain level of experience. And I think
Oh
Dre,
yeah,
he might be
that's
dropping the
hard.
ball, man. Dre dropping the ball, man. We
Hey,
gotta
you
blow his
never know.
lines
You
up.
never
Somebody
know
put
what
his
lies in the future. You know what I mean?
No
yeah.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So Leroy, before we get Blue out of here, man, what's your last few questions for Blue?
I got like two more. I just got two more questions. The last one real easy, but just for me, because I don't get to talk to Blue all the time. I got to ask my questions, but
Come on, come
so
on.
Blue, he kind of got me like it's two albums that are fighting each other in my mind, and Blue kind of
Uh,
set it up that way because he dropped "Love the Ominous World" and he dropped "Los Angeles." Now I'm having a conflict of between these two albums battling for my
uh,
list of top albums this year. So
oh yeah.
first off, I would just say "Precipitation" off "Love the Ominous World." That is a beautiful song, my brother.
Oh, good looks, man.
That
Thank you, man.
is crazy. But my question is, how was it working with Alchemist again? And what happened to the Lost Angel song, my guy?
Lost Angel, we felt it was a powerful enough song to release separate. You know what I mean? It was just as important as the album alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why we dropped Los Angeles separate, and Los Angeles was a whole vibe, a whole different vibe. You know what I mean?
Mm, no
Yo,
doubt. The Lost Angel video was a really dope video. And I know that there's a film you've wanted to explore film for a while. I
oh
think
yeah,
I
Ev
think
killed
there's
that
a
Los Angeles video.
yeah, I think
I'll
there's a
never.
bright future for you over there and behind the camera too, my guy.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, that's what I'm diving in, trying to dive into. I've been saying that for I don't know how long, but I'm still trying to crack it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you got a new son. You know what I mean. That's gonna get you there.
Come
Trust
on, man.
me, that's gonna get you there, my guy. You know what I mean. But just last question. What can we look forward to? Because this year you already been going crazy. So 2025, right around the corner. What can we look forward to, Blue? Mhm.
2025, expect the same wave as this year, man. You know what I mean? We not stopping. You know what I mean? We dropped 4 this year. You just might get 4 next year.
Fire. We looking forward to it, man. We
Why don't you
looking
make
for
it?
man.
Why don't you make it? Why don't you make it 5, bro? 2025.
You
You did
just
40.
you just
Make it
may get 5 next year, man.
get 5. Let's get 5 of them things, man. Well, yo, man, Blue, we
Oh,
appreciate you hopping on, man. According Hip Hop, been following
that.
your movement for a while, man. Shout out to Leroy for setting it up, man. But we'll be tapping in with you soon, brother.
appreciate you guys, man. Have a good one, man. Blessings.
No doubt, man. Peace.
Appreciate you too, man. Hit you right after the show. Thank you, man.
No
Yep,
doubt.
yep.